Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Relyks, and today I have for you an Advanced Wars match. It's been a while since we've done Advanced Wars matches, and I don't have much to show, right? On a normal basis, I don't necessarily play Global League matches, therefore making content a little bit more sporadic as far as really good matches are concerned. However, this here is indeed a Global League match. And honestly, I was very nerve-wracked about this one. So, let me get into some specifics. It's a mix-based map. I hate mix-based maps. If you guys have followed through my other Advanced Wars videos where I've done mix-based maps, you guys know I hate them. I despise them. It's just too much, to concentrate on, too much to think about. And, you lose somewhere, all of a sudden it could be game over, at a flip of switch, right? B is Global League. I don't really play Global League because I get really tense. I get really anxious and nervous about how I'm playing, how my opponent's going to play. I don't want to lose, obviously, and so it definitely plays into my mind and how I do things. Definitely puts a lot of stress on me. And then C is the matchup. As you guys can see on the screen, overall rating wise, we were a little bit separate. I am the obvious higher player in this regard. I am the more experienced player, so that is something that we can consider going to this match. But B, not just the matchup of who we are, but as well as the commanding officers. As you guys can see, this is a match between my opponent Max kduffs and me as Drake. That is something that I guess you wouldn't really see on a normal basis. And if you guys also look at the map itself, there are airports on this map. There are ports, but the airports are the scariest part, as well as 2 comm towers per person, per se, right? It's not guaranteed that everyone's going to get comm towers, but there is 4 comm towers. There's 1 in each corner of this map, and if you have to get them by either flying there with T-copters, which you have to get a T-copter on one of the islands, or just use black boats and landers to get to the other island. So this is also, oh my god, this is D. The D point of this video is, or this point is, there's 3 headquarters per player. As you guys can see, I am Green Earth, I am Drake. I have 1 in the north, 2 in the bottom left, and 3 in the bottom right. And same thing for my opponent. And that is absolutely insane. So that is also something to consider. It's not like labs where you need to capture all the labs, which, by the way, there is a lab on this map. It actually doesn't do anything. But once you get 1 HQ, you lose. That's it. Game over. Another reason why I hate mixed bases, especially for maps like this. And that's the thing. Just before getting this match, okay, I opened my Global League just after I created a custom map of my own to play against my brother. I did a multi-HQ map. I made it, and then I played with my brother on it. I didn't know that the HQs worked like that, because I could have sworn I played multi-HQ map before, and I captured 2 HQs. But no, that was not the case. Once you capture 1, it's game over. And in that custom map, one of the multiple HQs was in the middle of the map, where I was planning to use it as like a defensive style terrain. But no, as soon as you capture that HQ, it's game over. So that ruined the map itself. But then B, I come here into Global League literally soon after, and I get this. So this was scary for me, because had I not learned that, I would have probably threw even harder. But thankfully I found that out. Not to mention the other Advanced Wars guy I watch, Mangs. Go check out his channel if you haven't already. He also covered a multiple HQ map as well. So it's like perfect timing. It was just, I guess it was just fate, right? It's just perfect timing. So in any case, those are all the points for this map, which, by the way, this map is called Walls Are Closing In, right above me. as far as a mixed base map, I actually do think the design of it is actually pretty good. It does cause for a lot of thinking though. You do have these middle bases that can only produce infantry. I mean, you could produce an artillery or a rocket if you wanted to, or missile, but obviously they can't move, so there's no point doing that. But infantry only coming out of this base, and this base for red over here. Otherwise, you have the 1, 2, and 3 bases right next to your HQs, 1 per HQ to defend. So this base is significantly important because it can only produce infantry, and whichever way you send your infantry, either you send it, for example, for me, send it this way, then you probably want to go this way, or send it this way, you want to go this way. It makes a huge difference in where the battles are going to be taking place, and how you what properties you capture, and all that stuff. So unfortunately, I'm not the big analyst person in Advance Wars, so I cannot give you the details of like where battles should be taking place or things like that. But what I will tell you guys is that this map, as soon as I got it, I looked it over and I was like, oh my god, I'm so dead. My opponent's going to choose Max or Kindle probably, and I'm going to be so dead. So I decided that you guys are probably wondering, why am I Drake? There's airports. Well, you'll see how that comes into play later. But I decided to go with Drake, who can do global damage, as well as the air units are currently out of our reach. In order to get to the airports, we need to build a black boat out of this port here, in which, once you go after this base, you gotta capture the base, then move away. These guys probably want to move out either this way or that way to, get more cities, and then you get the port. So it probably isn't the biggest priority to get that port, build a black boat or a lander, then get the airport, and then start building battlecopters. By then it's going to be a little late, and so I figured in my mind battlecopters aren't going to be huge in the get-go. That's the reason why I chose Drake to start. So my opponent choosing Max though is the scary part, because I have a history of losing to Max all the time, and that is terrifying. So that is another reason why I was like, oh man, this map is just built for Max. There's so much open spaces, and then of course his powers give movement boost, so that it makes it even worse. I was like really worried that I might get overrun everywhere, but we'll see what happens. In any case, I have been talking long enough. Let's get right into the match. As you guys can see, I'm going to skip a few of the first turns, because clearly go for the bases. All 4 of his infantry go for the bases and start capturing. My turn, I too go after my 2 neutral bases, and out of my 2 bases available, I build infantry. His turn, he captures them. My turn, I move out. Perfect. Alright, cool. So I start the capture phase by moving for the 2 closest cities. For him, same thing, he moves for the 1, 2, 3. There you go. And then yeah, so we move on. So I have it on my 2 screens here, my OBS and my main screen as well. So I'm trying to maneuver through both screens. In any case, so there you go. Capture phase continues. I love this quick next turn mechanic that they added recently. Not recently now, but within the past few months. It really helps a lot with the capture phase. It gets it out of the way. Again, moving my infantry out. Again, still building a decent amount, going left, going down as well. And I built the first tank, as you guys can see in the top. So that's great. I get my tank out. This guy can't do anything, so you're kind of expecting him to be right here. And then my opponent starts off with 2 tanks. So to counter my 1 tank here, and he had the funds to build a 2nd tank, all while saving 7,000 up for something else in the future. So there you guys go. We will see where battles are dictated, and I have 21,000 now in my bank. Let's see what I do with it on this turn. So now we're going to start seeing some action probably take place. I move my tank straight out over here. This mountain blocks me from going to the middle, so I am dictating that I want to stay here and defend this location. And then my infantry continue to go for captures all around the map. I built a medium tank in the bottom left with my 21,000 as well as infantry. So you guys can see here, this medium tank a little bit bulky, right? Slow. There's forest here blocking my path as well. And then, of course, there's forest over here blocking this path, as well as the mountain. And again, he's max. My tanks aren't going to cut it when going against max. That's just the bottom line. Unless I get the first strike or have terrain bonuses, it's going to be looking really tough for me. So we'll see what happens going forward. And yeah, he's getting his captures in as well. He is currently ahead as of the end of his turn. But if you guys take a look around the map, I got multiple captures going as well. So on his turn, he built one tank in the top right corner. So now he has 2 tanks to my 1 over here. So I will be forced to back off. His tank is also protecting his cities as well. So my tank literally cannot do anything this turn. There is also a tank here, in which case this guy is so out of range. Even if I moved all the way over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would be barely in range to hit this infantry. But I don't even know if that would be even worth it because it's a chase. We'll see what I do. So I get all my captures, I get more going. I'm going for the port as well near my HQ. I did move out as far as I can, like I said, and just, blocking off. Unfortunately, that leaves this side a little bit defensive as I get closer to his HQ. I do interrupt the capture there though, so that's cool. And then of course I build a couple vehicles of my own. I built a tank in the bottom left with my HQ. With this medium tank going up, I built this tank to secure my cities over here. And then I built an artillery over here. Seeing as he has 2 tanks here, this guy could possibly just slide right through and go right here and then start going up. And that's something that I was a little bit afraid of. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I will build an artillery. I'll be defensive here. I don't really have any need for the port. And this is kind of a standoff island, so I'm going to be defensive and just bunker down. That's no problem. Not to mention this mountain and the forest. It makes it a little bit easier, I think, in my situation. So he does go for my infantry over in the bottom, kills him off, continues his capture. Tank goes on the city, so I can't go capture it. Not that I was going to go do that, because that would have been suicide. He does slide the tank over where I thought he would. And there you go. Ignoring my infantry, I am out of range, so he is most likely going to try and slide that guy up, maybe. We'll see what happens. One tank goes down now, so he has 1 in each side. And I don't have vehicles over there. Here he built a recon in the bottom right, as I do not have anything here. Now that's interesting because, yes, I'm being a little bit aggressive, but I don't need to push harder, right? I don't really need to. So this tank here can go right. It's kind of weird they build recon to combat my tank. Very weird. I don't think that was the right play, but I did build a medium tank on the left side, seeing that my medium tank is over here as well. So obviously great defense, right? It just counters. So I kill the infantry, go for the capture as well. My artillery is unfortunately out of position to defend the city itself, but he can't get first strike on my tank either, nor can he get the first strike on the city, because if he does, then I can just use my tank to attack it. So I'm just defending that north side as much as I can. And then the south, preventing the capture again, barely with 1 HP to spare, lucky for me. I know that guy's pretty much dead. That's totally fine. Totally fine. Medium tank moves over here, covers the city. He cannot capture it, so that's perfect. This guy is pretty much dead as well. There's nothing I can do even if I build a tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't reach, so this guy's dead. I don't know why I did that. His turn on turn 8. Again, recon moves in. Covered the city, by the way. Covered the city. This guy could have actually went on the city and started capturing. He could have went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here instead. But no, instead he covered the city. So that's another turn that he's not going to be able to get that city. Pretty good. Pretty good for me. Again, this guy's dead on the right side, as expected. Don't know why I did that in the first place. If anything, set myself up to hit his infantry so he can't capture that city. He does go in and attack my guys on the right side, as well as using the tank to actually attack the city, the capturing city. That's very interesting. I was not expecting that, but kind of works out for me. I get the first strike. Also interrupts the capture in the bottom. Medium tank plays defensive and moves on to a city. Alright. Builds a black boat, by the way. In the top right corner, there's HQ. As well as a bunch of infantry everywhere else, as including a tank here. So, there you guys go. You guys can see he is going for the airport. He is max. He will have air superiority over me in this matchup. So, that went into my calculations for sure, right? I already knew that was going to happen. Now it's my job to dictate how fast this match ends, right? So, from the get-go, from the very beginning, before we even started the match, I told myself I'm going to go for one specific plan, and you guys will see that soon enough. Actually, you'll see on this turn. So, I can't get the city, so I'm going to attack his infantry, get the first shot on the tank as well. Unfortunately, I didn't defend this very good. You could just kind of just go around with this tank and hit the artillery, but that's okay. I'm on a city, so I have defense, as well as I have another tank supporting as well right here. Boom, 2 medium tanks now heading towards that direction. And over here, playing complete defense. The right side's defense, the top side's defense. You guys see what I'm doing here? Tank, tank, infantry, infantry. So tank here to ward off this one tank. He cannot attack any of my units without getting hit. This tank, just in case the recon comes over here, I'm going to try, bait him in, or away, I should say. And then the medium tanks are over here. Don't know what they're doing yet. What am I doing with them? Infantry goes for the airport in the top right, as expected. No surprise there. Now, which will you go for, airport or comm tower? Both are very huge advantages if you can get both. He's mopping up my guys at the very bottom. I'm not going to get that city either. Very unfortunate. He does back off in the middle here, though. So, success. I got the first shot, and my artillery's in good position. Fantastic defense. Builds a medium tank, by the way, over here now. So, that's very interesting to see. And he builds a bunch of infantry everywhere else as well. Tank in the bottom right corner as well. So, this tank, as you guys can see, I don't have vehicles. But he is kind of away from my properties here. And they're a little bit closer to my base, so I don't have to worry about defending them too much. Turn 9. Boom. First thing I do on this turn. Right? I go for a capture. Boom. Battleship. With 28,000 already in the bank. I build a battleship. I still have 3,000. That's enough for 1 infantry on 3 of the 4 bases as well. You guys see what I'm doing here? You guys see what I'm doing? Medium tanks move over to the left. Tank goes for a hit. If he uses his medium tank to attack that tank, I'm going to get the double shot on my medium tanks. Tank I built moves up as well. Go, 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 go. All units are going this way. And I'm going to pressure him as well. This tank's over here. Can't reach me. Can't reach me. And this one's repairing as well. So, looking pretty good. Solid defense right here. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. Go for a kill and retreat as well. So now it's his turn on turn 10. He goes for the comm tower in the top right. So I'm sure he sees what I'm doing here. Right? I'm sure he sees what I'm doing here. He's going for a comm tower, not battlecopters. Recon finishes off. Tank finishes off. So now he has full control in this bottom sector. That's okay. That's a tank and a recon and a bunch of infantry that aren't into combat now. And yeah, he's killing me off over here as well. Now he's got three tanks to my 1 over here. Not looking good over there, right? So he goes and gets this city as well. And he continues to spam the tanks. So now he's got a tank here that he just built. You got a tank here. Literally nothing happening over here. And then a tank over here as his HQ on the left side. Alright, so now it's my turn. I get this city, I flip it over. Battleship moves up. Boom! Look at that base lock. Now, perhaps, maybe he didn't see my battleship. Maybe he didn't see me build it, right? Maybe. I don't know. I think he would have to have seen it, right? But, unfortunately, he did not. So, battleship now base locks. and I'm putting the pressure on. Medium tanks are going in. I'm hitting everything. I even go for a medium tank on medium tank hit. I'm on a forest. He's on a city. He's going to recover up to be a 9 as well. My battleship actually doesn't even cover that city. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Don't know. I'm just putting on as much pressure as I can, getting as many hits as I can. Everybody's going this. All the infantry I'm building here are going this way. Everything that was right here went this way, including the battleship. It's an all. Look, tank from over here comes around, wraps around. Look at that. I'm sending everything to that HQ. Everything. Artillery is coming this way as well. I'm ignoring the north. I'm ignoring the right side. My goodness. What am I doing? What am I doing? Full defense now. I built a Neo tank near my bottom HQ as well. I base skipped the top here. There's nothing there. I base skipped over here. There's only 3 tanks, 2 infantry, 2 my guys over here. I am throwing everything into this HQ rush on the left side. My goodness. He has the comm tower now on the top right, give him an extra boost, and he's gonna just sweep me in the top now. Boom, boom, boom. Like, my god. He even goes in over here as well, hitting hard. 1 tank moving back through the middle though. Smart. And now let's see what he does over here. Tank goes onto the HQ. Don't know why he's doing that. It really doesn't play a part. Medium tank moves back as well. Instead of attacking here, instead of attacking on the city, he moved backwards. You guys take a look at the damage calculator. You guys tell me. If you guys know me, by the way, if you guys seen many of my gameplays, my Advance Wars matches, I am one unlucky person. What do you think? You think he could have one-shot me? I think he probably could have. With that extra 2% on that 6, could have possibly one-shot my tank. But he didn't. Instead, he retreated. That is very weird. I can't hit it. Right? He has 22,000. Builds another medium tank. This guy can't pick and choose both, right? It's kind of weird. So he covers it and builds 1 medium tank. Other one's in the background. Very weird. And he activates Max Blast. I think that was a mistake. I think that was a total mistake. Because he didn't actually use it to actually attack anything. So there you go. I think that was a misclick. That had to have been a misclick. Base skips, base skips, base skips. All because he wants to have that medium tank there. As well as the extra defense perhaps, but I don't see the play there. I just don't see it. So, kind of weird. Battleship gets a hit, only 3 damage, with thanks for the extra power defense. And then of course I move in. Tank attacks, kills it, hits an infantry. Medium tank hits infantry. I gotta stay defensive over there. Tank gets a hit over here, but again, there's 2 tanks to my 1. Ooh, look at that. Look at that retaliatory damage. I even attack to get my power. Boom! Tsunami comes in. Now everything took damage, and anything he's like capturing like this is over here is taking damage now. His infantry will take at least 3 turns now to capture a single property, even though I'm not in the area to defend them. Medium tank moves in for the 6. Ooh, unlucky. I don't think that was actually a kill. Yeah, so 50% max. It was never going to kill it. Now it's like, infantry, go! No, I'm unlucky. I'm unlucky, so that didn't work out. So I had to use a tank to attack the base. That's very unfortunate because now I don't have anything to fight with. What I should have done here was probably use the 10. The 10 probably could have did it. 1 to 8%. Whereas this guy was a 0 to 7%. That difference in percentage could have made a huge difference in how this outcome played out, right? But instead, I used the weaker one for some reason, and unfortunately, I couldn't base cover it. So that sucks. And then same thing over here. This guy is now totally out of position. He can't do anything but capture, but this guy can do that. So it really sucks. All I could do was go on the mountain. It really sucks. But in any case, Neo Tank also still going up, throwing everything to an all-out go for the HQ. Build a mech. These tanks cannot attack me, so now I have the advantage here defensively. So he's not sending too many things. I could easily build like a tank on my next turn. It will defend that entire area. Build a medium tank in the north to defend. Nothing here except for this guy can attack me. Not to mention he already used his power, so it's not going to come into play anymore. So now it's his turn. He's continuing his capture. He's going for the airport now as well. Medium tank creams my tank. My goodness. And bottom over here, he kills my tank off as well. Can't do anything about that. All while pushing the north as well. My goodness, he's going for all the captures. I can't do anything about them. Regroups 2 of the tanks that got hit. Builds a mega tank. Holy crap! I've never seen a mega tank in Global League, in my Global League matches, I should say. And wow, I mean, if you think about it, look at my battleship without my power, by the way. 17 to 23%. That's all I can do to this medium tank or mega tank. That's crazy. The perfect defensive unit. But unfortunately, you guys can see how overwhelming I am. Look, he's like, I only have 1 unit. I only have 1 unit left. That's crazy. That is crazy. But he's not pushing hard over here either. So very, very interesting. Again, this side is very defensively covered. He can't do anything over here. If anything, I could have pushed back too. But yeah, I clear out the way. I use the battleship. Okay, I use the battleship to attack and kill the 2 infantry. Boom. Infantry goes in. Boom. Sets up for the capture on the HQ. Medium tank moves in. Hits the tank. Boom. Covers the mega tank. Boom. Kills the tank. Boom. Didn't do it perfect, but I got the job done. I got the job done. As you guys can see, tank can't even move out. Even if he kills one of the units, he can't build anything here because it's a city. Mega tank can't get out. It's stuck. And it's going to base lock. And there's nothing he can do. And I have so many units here, I can just reinforce them to surround. HQ is now mine. He is not in range to capture any of my HQs. And they are perfectly defended. Look, you can't attack into this. I can easily just counter and kill your vehicles. Can't attack into this. I can easily counter and kill all your vehicles. And you can't attack into this one base, because all I'm going to do now is spam medium tanks every turn to counter his 1 medium tank. Even though he has a higher unit count, he has a higher property advantage. He even has the comm tower and going for the airport. But unfortunately, he can't do anything. And that's it. He resigned. There you go. Is that insane or what? In 13 turns on a mixed-based map like this, I won. With Drake. I won with Drake. Isn't that just crazy? From the very beginning, the moment I saw the map, I was like, I'm going for a HQ rush. I'm picking this one. I am picking this one, no matter what. I don't care what happened around the rest of the map. I was picking this HQ from the very, very beginning. And it worked out perfectly. This battleship perfectly functioned in a way that I can basically make him play defensive and move back. He didn't play the best positioning. I think his medium tank should have attacked my tanks more. But in the end, I made him scared enough that he moved into a defensive shell, and I locked him down for a HQ cap. That worked out so perfectly that I was just like, wow. I do apologize to kduffs. I did not play my turns very quickly. In at least 3 of the turns, I actually waited until like literally the last day, if not the last 24 hours. I feel really bad about that, but I wanted to think about my moves carefully while not being stressed with some real life stuff that's going on. And so I really took my time, and I do apologize if you ever see this, and I hope you can forgive me. But as you guys can see, my patience does pay off. Thinking about my moves. Was it perfect? No, of course not. It's not perfect, but I think it played out pretty good for me, especially as a player as a Drake versus a Max. So yeah, overall I think this turned out really well. Yeah, something that I've never really considered in a mixed base like this is just HQ rush like that. I'm like, wow, absolutely insane. I don't want to play this map ever again. I hate the HQ rush, not to mention the multiple HQs you have to defend against. But yeah, overall it was a decent map. I had a decent amount of fun on it. Again, the reason I'm making this video is A, not to give you guys just Advanced Wars content, but as well as to show you guys how my Drake versus a Max actually won. And like I said, I have a huge history of losing to every Max I pretty much ever face, and that is fantastic that I beat a Max player who is around my rating. So again, Global League match, so I was very happy to win it. Didn't really give me too many points, but hopefully I can continue this trend and get some more Global League matches for you guys. Again, because I don't put too many out, almost every time I do play a Global League match, I do actually post it for you guys to see how I progress through my rating. But overall, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you just at least found some entertainment, hit the like button, comment down below what you guys thought, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And again, if you guys want to play this map, it's called Walls Are Closing In. It's right above my head. It's a decent mixed base match. I wouldn't say it's the best by any means, but hey, you know what? Maybe you guys will see this and be like, oh, okay, HQ rush is possible. Better defend more carefully. Watch the ports. He built a black boat. I built a battleship. Huge difference, and it actually played dividends for me in this regard. So very, very interesting dynamic here. Anything can really happen. But yeah, it was a really fun match. Hell, I mean, if you really think about it, right, if you use this port right here, if I built a battleship from this port and I swam it all the way through the middle, like, oh my god, look at the coverage this battleship could have had, like right here. Just imagine, right? Just imagine if I built it right here instead, and just 2 turns. It's the same thing, right? Build a battleship here, but in this case, 1 turn, I was in range. But here, it takes it 2 turns. But in 2 turns, not only will I be like in perfect range to base lock, I'll be in range to defend my HQ as well. Pretty insane stuff can happen on this map. Heck, if it's high funds map, oh my god, imagine the possibilities. Anyways, I digress. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.